first time, because I love, comic book figurines. I nerd out over them, and I finally got to see some of them in person, and it was just like Christmas all over again. And I had the realization that if I get rich, I'm going to be stupid. And instead of having that nice room, where everyone, you're not allowed to sit on the sofas, you're not allowed to walk on, the carpet. This is the nice room. No, it's going to be that Star Trek room where, you're not allowed in you're not allowed in the figurine room. Instead of nice china, it'll be figurines. You know what I mean? There was a giant Batman one where he was crouching down and he had his cape up. It was huge. And I imagine having that in my hallway. Like, I don't know if I'm going to have a hallway, but it's going to be at the end of the hallway. So when you turn, that's the first thing you see. So if my kids try to sneak out and get snacks, they know that Batman is watching. That's the kind of environment I want to cultivate. Yes.
That's so funny. I don't know. Did you guys like grow up in like comic book and like nerdiness? Like, cause like I said before, I basically grew up like, we did like literally, like I said, my grandma would watch Lord of the Rings, but we would every weekend, we would choose a movie series to marathon. We would do X-Men one week, Matrix another week, Lord of the Rings another week. And it was just like, Blade another week. I grew up that way. And I'm like so grateful because like I said, I could go to school and kind of be ostracized. But if I went home, I always had somebody to talk to about like nerd stuff. Like it was pretty dope.
I know for
my
me.
Parents is so... Wait, you spoke?
Yeah, I did.
Go ahead.
My introduction into like superheroes was through the Marvel Cinematic Universe in 2008 with the first Iron Man film. And that's where my passion really took over because I love film and then I love superheroes. So to see those two come together, I was really appreciative of that. And for me in middle school, I was like obsessed with Superman at the time. So I had a Superman backpack with abs and I wore that all throughout middle school. And then when I got to high school, I had a Captain America backpack as the shield. The Captain America shield is my backpack. So it was also an art school. So like everybody had their own thing. Like there was the visual arts kids, the music kids, and the theater kids. So like I was just the girl who liked superheroes. And also my high school was set in like the middle of a plaza. So during like my junior year when I had a free period, I would go throughout the plaza just walking around with my Captain America backpack and people would be like, oh, that's cool. But I never really had a problem where where I didn't fit in with liking superheroes. But I know through my art, when I show like people who aren't interested in superheroes, when they see my art, they'd be like, oh, that's nice, but you can't really draw. Like you can't really draw people or you can't do landscapes or whatever, just because I was doing superheroes. So like when I came on Instagram and I was doing superhero art and I like found the comic book community, it's like, this is where I belong and this is where I feel at home. So that's like my
story. You don't need them. You don't need them.
Yeah.
You need it. We got you. We got you.
There's no need for that type of negativity in your life.
Literally, I hate people who are purists like that. Like, there's only one form of like art. I was just talking about this with there's a girl called Life of a Geeky Mind. She's from Canada. She's in the comic book community, and we were just talking yesterday. We did like a little chit chat video, and she was talking about how sometimes people don't consider comic book art as art, and I was like, which is crazy to me because art, like, it is the purest form of art, especially when there's a story accompanying it. Like, how could you deny that some of the spread pages that you see are not art? Even if it's action art, it doesn't matter. Like, it's beautiful. Somebody took their time to do that. I couldn't do it. Like, I could never in my life draw some of the stuff that you draw. Like, it's beautiful. Like, I think I love comic book art more than I love modern art, and I love, like going to museums and art museums and things like that. But also comic book art is obviously my favorite. So, I buy comics just for the covers sometimes, because sometimes the covers are so stunning to me. And I'm like, I need that on my wall because it's a piece of art. It's a work of art to me. And it's just so wrong to discourage somebody from doing cartoon art or like graphic design just because it's not like the structural, like the way that art is supposed to be. I'm just like, I don't.
Yeah, it's really weird because that happened to me when my dad knew that I liked to draw. So he was like, okay, so I'm going to cultivate that because, my daughter's going to be an artist. And he has this habit of going about things in weird ways. So we went to the county fair in Perry, Georgia, which is middle of nowhere. So don't even try looking for it on the map. You will miss it on the map. And I'm busy looking at the cows because cows are like some of my favorite animals. They're so pretty. And he's like, no, you need to come over here and talk to these artists who are selling their artwork at the county fair. I'm like, you're not the same.
We're not the
Nowhere
same.
near the same. But hey, you indulge your parents. So I went and, you know, we're talking to this one woman whose artwork I actually did like. It was landscapey, pretty, watercolor. I don't even remember. Anyway, so we're talking to her and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm interested in this. I use this medium because I'm talking more, you know, the professional terms because, you know, your artwork is taboo. It's not professional. And my dad interrupted me. He's like, no, she likes to draw, you know, the anime characters as well. She likes to draw, you know, superheroes and stuff. I was like, Dad, don't do it. Don't do it. No. Lo and behold, the woman says, oh, I don't really consider that art because you're just kind of copying what someone else has already done.
What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Like, what? That would have been, I would have been
put
so
your own
angry.
style, so what she mean?
I know,
Exactly.
like, what?
It's so
Comic
funny
book
because
art is art.
I sat there appalled because it was like, how dare? But I was also too young to know that I could have easily popped off on this woman because a lot of people like to say that it's childish, it's immature, it's not real art. Yo, there are people making millions off of what they do in the comic book industry. Adults. Okay, so screw you. All right, because this thing's going to live a lot longer than your cute little watercolor ponies. Sorry. Don't come for me and I won't come for you. That's my philosophy. All right.
It's unfortunate that a lot of parents don't want their children going into the arts because they feel like there's no money in it. But without the arts, you wouldn't have all these films. You wouldn't have, like, basically everything that you use to spend your pleasure time. It's like based off of the arts, music, film, TV, comics. Everything is art.